To another episode of Lucas Live. So glad to have you guys here. If you're here right now, it's because you're watching this by replay, because people haven't even had a chance to join the room yet. So if you're here hearing me say welcome, it's because you tuned in to a replay. You may have watched this episode already and you thought, I need to go back and catch some of that stuff again. I need to hear it again. I need to learn it again. Or you are watching this for the first time. I want to welcome you. This is Lucas Live. I am your host, Lucas Tyndale, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys once again to bring you guys education, motivation, liberation. I want to educate you guys today. Me and my guest today are going to share some great information that will educate you. Also, we want to motivate you. Motivation is about taking what you know and doing something with it. What good is education if you don't do anything with it? And then liberation. We want to set some people free. Somebody's bound. Somebody has chains on and they don't even know it. Somebody is locked in a box that they're not actually locked in. They just think they're locked in that box. And so because they think they're locked in a box, they won't get out and be all that they're supposed to be in life. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk to our guest today about how did she break out of her box? How did she become the person that she is today? How did she put together an entire organization of women? How do you get a bunch of women together? I'm going to ask her that. How you get a bunch of women to work together and show each other love and support each other's businesses? Because I always heard that women don't get along. I've always heard that women can't come together. They just don't do it. They're catty. They're petty. There's all these stereotypes that we know are not true. They're just stereotypes. But it takes a strong leader. It takes a visionary to pull them together in order to do something great. Andromeda has done that. I can't wait to have her on. I want to welcome you guys who are coming in live now. I see the live audience starting to come into the room. I can't see all of you. If you make a comment, then I know you're here. If you don't make a comment, I don't know. Maybe you don't want to make a comment because you just want to kind of hang out and watch quietly in the back. I'm okay with that, but I'd love to have you join the conversation. I'd love to have you in. And I know what some people think. Some people think once I make a comment, once he knows I'm in, I can't click out or I'm going to be in trouble. You're not going to be in trouble. I'm going to assume you're going to watch the replay later. It's okay. And if you don't watch the replay later, just don't let me find out. And don't let me catch you, okay? Because I don't know why you wouldn't be supporting my show. And I don't know why you wouldn't be watching the replays. And I don't know why you wouldn't watch this whole thing. What is wrong with you? Okay, it's cool. It's no big deal. It's okay. I'm not mad. All right, I just want to welcome some people to the room. I see you, Ebony Hill-tastic, Ebony Hill, Ebony Akron. Welcome to the show. So glad to have you. You're also behind me here. Ebony Akron is behind me in the background. On this beautiful background I have here with these wonderful ladies here. My wife is here as well on the screen here. If you see her here, she's here somewhere. There she is. Look at her. There she goes. She's there somewhere on the screen behind me as she is a part of the She Wins Society. And I'm a guy, so I can't be a part of it. But if there's such a thing as the He Wins, the He Wins behind the She Wins, men who support the She Wins Society, I am a part of that club. I am in. I want them to win. I love what they're doing. I love what it's about. I love how it's impacted my wife and her life. I love the wonderful people that she's met because of this. And I want to tell you guys about it. If you do not know about the She Wins Society, if you've heard a little bit about it but never knew, or you knew but you thought about joining but you never joined, I'm going to ask some people today if you would be willing to join. I think it's worth it. And we're not going to punish you again if you don't. But I want you guys to really think about it. If you're a woman out there and you're looking for a sisterhood, if you're looking for some women to come together with, if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to come together with like-minded women, or if you're a single mom, or if you're a married lady and you're looking for support in your marriage, or I could name every spectrum of woman. It could be you. And if you're a man out there, and you have a special lady in your life, it might be your daughter, it might be your granddaughter, it might be your wife, it might be your girlfriend. I don't know who it is, but you know that she's longing for sisterhood. She's longing for like-minded women who are forward-thinking, movers and shakers. I was about to say makers and shakers and make shakers. I don't know what I was about to say, but you know what I'm talking about, right? If you are looking for that today, I'm going to bring that to you in Andromeda Raheem, who's going to talk about her organization. And then for the rest of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have a lineup of amazing, powerful women. We have multiple women most days of this week, where you're going to hear not just from one guest, but two guests most days this week. Get insight, hear about their books, hear about their products, their services, their lives, their stories. It's going to be dynamic. You don't want to miss this week. You're not too young, you're not too old to join the She Wins Society. I want you, ladies and gentlemen, to learn about this today. Please share this broadcast. You guys don't know that we have grown as a show because of you. First of all, it's Lucas Live because I got the livest audience. So I want to thank the live audience, okay? And to those watching by replay, you're live still. You're here because you care, you want to learn, you want to grow, and you want to hear these great topics and these great guests. So I want to thank you, as always, for being here. But the reason this show has grown is because of people like you, because you're talking about it, because you're sharing the post, because you're sharing the flyers. That's why. When you share this right now, and I'm going to ask you, hit the share button. Don't do a watch party. Because if you do a watch party, you create a separate room, and then all your people are stuck in a box. Didn't we just talk about not being stuck in a box? What are you doing? Don't get anybody stuck in a box. Hit share to your page, to your business, to all your groups, share to all the stuff you can, and that will invite people in. And then when those people come in, if they make comments, I'll see their comments as well. I'll be able to put their comments up on the screen. We'll be able to engage with them as well. You're going to invite people to the party. You may be a creator of content, or you may be a curator of content, or you may be both. Curators bring great content to the people who are looking at their page. All you're doing is curating, as in you shared an article from the New York Times, you shared an article from USA Today, you shared a post from your friend, you shared a meme. That is curation. You're bringing great stuff together for people to enjoy. Why not bring this to the people who are following you, the people you're friends with, your family? Let them know that we are live right now. Share it to your page so that they can join in on the conversation. I want to thank you guys who have all done that, whether you are here on Facebook, LinkedIn, Periscope, or YouTube. I want to welcome you to the show. I want to thank you for being here with us this evening. Also, in light of everything going on in our country, I want us to continue to be mindful. I want us to continue to be safe. I want us to continue to represent the causes that matter to us. I've spoken out recently about how I felt about the things and the injustices and the things going on. I'll be sharing more content, more information, more videos. But we're also going to make sure we keep moving. Our guest and I, the guest today and I talked about this. We want to make sure that we don't get so bogged down in the trauma of what's going on that we stop living, that we stop building sisterhood, that we stop building brotherhood. That's how we're going to solve the ills of today. So today we're going to spend some time talking to our guest about bringing it together, about bringing people together. These are the solutions. The She Wins Society is a part of the solution. We can all continue to talk about the problems on and on and on forever until we're all so traumatized we don't want to leave the house. Or we can start to make some moves and start to take some action. We're going to take some action today by meeting our great guest. I'd like to welcome to the show the wonderful Andromeda Raheem. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
You're welcome. I'm so glad to have you. I want to thank you. I reached out to you and I asked my wife, I was like, I need Andromeda's number. I need to get, this was like really early on in the show. Okay. I was probably like 2 weeks in and I already dreamed of a She Wins week on Lucas Live, and Lucas Live didn't even have a logo. I just got a logo just yesterday. So I was dreaming of this because I know the impact that you're making. And I just want to start the show with you telling us, let's start off by talking about the She Wins Society and what it is. And then I want to go back and talk about your story a little bit and how you got here. So what is the She Wins Society for those who don't know?
Well, She Wins Society is one of the best organizations and online-based networks in the world.
Yes.
We are a global network for goal-driven, purpose-driven women who know deep down that they can have it all. And so we are cultivating a society of fearless, resilient, confident, balanced, well-traveled, faithful women. We are providing opportunities and spaces for women to gather together and encourage one another, but also to invest in their personal development. Ultimately, personal development definitely should be high on all of our list of priorities, because the better that we are, the better everything attached to us will be, and the bigger that we will win. And so that is our focus, is to really help women individually become the best that they can be. And so ultimately, then they'll be the best sisters that they can be to other women.
Woo! Y'all, listen now. Y'all better, if you got a business, an organization, and you can't pitch it like that, that's why you're not growing. All right? You just put it together so well. Wow. Like, I can't even imagine. That sounded like a blog post. That sounded like something that was on a Nike ad. Like, that was so well said. And that's so important, because a lot of times we have a hard time joining things like this because not the even the founder can't articulate what in the world is it. I'm sure you get that question all the time when people are thinking about joining She Wins Society. What are some of the questions you get, and what are some of the things that they can expect as a part of She Wins Society?
Well, I think any organization, the main concern for people is, do I fit well here? Am I going to fit well here? Am I going to feel welcomed here? Am I going to be able to grow here? That's one of the main questions that people have. And then also, what are the benefits of me joining this organization? And so I would say one of the top benefits of joining She Wins Society is being surrounded by a group of women who are also working towards becoming their best selves. We've heard the saying, your network is your net worth. Yes. We've heard the saying that you become like the people you surround yourself with. And so we have created a space for those supportive women, those encouraging women, those women who have big dreams and goals and they're working towards them, to come together and continue to inspire one another as well as to encourage one another along their journey. Now, besides that, there's a million other great benefits. Maybe not a million, but maybe thousands. $1 million. How about that?
Yes.
Benefits such as being able to participate in our virtual meetups. So right now, while we are in a global pandemic, many of us are, in our homes a lot more. Physical in-person events are pretty much out of the question for the most part. And so being a part of a group like this, we don't miss a beat. So we were hosting in-person events and retreats continuously throughout the years. But when this pandemic came, it wasn't like everything fell apart and we no longer had a way to connect. We already had things in place. So we didn't miss a beat. We still are able to connect with our sisters through this pandemic. And so we have virtual book clubs. We have virtual game nights. We just recently created something called Sister Check-In because there is so much going on in the world. So we want to provide once a month for sisters to come together and just share whatever their thoughts, feelings, what have you are, and get some advice, encouragement, inspiration to continue working and winning. And we also have, I feel like there's another, we have winning workouts with Ashley D. So we are also working out at home.
What?
Okay, some of us couldn't get to the gym. Some of us are still like they open the gyms and I'm not going up in there.
Right.
We have winning workouts with Ashley D, where you can work out from the comfort of your home with other women. We have, when we can get back to, being on the go again, we have seasonal retreats for a year. We have empowerment events. We offer group success coaching. So you get an opportunity to meet with 7 different coaches with different levels of expertise and get encouragement and insight and strategies for being successful financially, mentally, emotionally, physically. We have, do I need to go on? We have a whole community.
Listen. I don't know how in the world you doing all that, okay? But that is amazing that's what you're offering to these ladies. Sharice Grantham here, one of our loyal followers. She's always here for the show, big supporter, friend of mine. She said, I just joined this last month and I already feel blessed by She Wins. That is so cool that people are hearing about it, finding out about it. And even right now in this season where they don't even know, they haven't even got the full experience if somebody joins, because I know my wife is going on some retreats. She done left me a time or two, because She Wins was winning somewhere around the country, and she went and had a lot of fun. I just can't say enough about how powerful it is. Now, we will talk more about the benefits of She Wins. Ladies, now let's drop this in here, because somebody's going to click off. I don't want y'all leaving, but if you do, you're going to miss it. But in case they do, how can they sign up? Let's just make sure that everybody knows right now who can sign up. I know I can't sign up, because I tried and you called me like, Luke, no. But no, I can't sign up. But who can sign up for this, and how do they do that?
Okay, so the qualifications for signing up is that you do need to be a woman, and you also need to be a woman who has the desire to be in spaces with other women, to support other women, to engage with other women in positive conversations. You also have to have the desire to be improving yourself and reaching goals. So again, we become like the people we surround ourselves with. And so we want women who have the desire. That's not to say that you have succeeded in some exceptional way yet, but you have a desire within yourself to improve, to learn, to grow around other women who are moving in that direction. We're all on different levels and stages in our lives, but the beautiful thing about that is that I can say that there are members who have joined 4 years ago. Entrepreneurship was not on their radar. Starting a podcast or writing a book or anything was not on their radar. And then 3 years later, they're doing these things because they're surrounded by other women who they see creating things and succeeding in things. And so again, you become like the people you surround yourself with. Not to mention, I have to just throw it in here, how awesome our sisterhood is when it comes to support. When we have new things we create, such as podcasts and live series and events, we reach out within our network to get speakers for our things and guests for our things. So that is how it should work. That we have a network we can reach back into to not only ask for things, but to also pour in things into. So that's really important. But anybody that fits within those requirements can go to SheWinsSociety.com. So that's SheWinsSociety.com.
I love it. So SheWinsSociety.com. I'm trying to type it up so I can throw it on the screen. Somebody else type it in the comments. Let's make sure we let people know. SheWinsSociety.com. Y'all see me? I'm throwing it there on the screen in front of us there. You guys see that? SheWinsSociety.com. Check it out. Check out the different membership levels. See what works for you. See what you want to do. Get involved. One of our, Natalie Lewis, is in the audience now. She's watching, and she said, sign up now. And she said this was her, that she was that person that didn't know what all she had inside of her until she was, until she was around women who were driven and moving. They say iron sharpens iron. So when we're around and no disrespect to the people we hanging around, but when you're around a bunch of dull people, it's hard to stay sharp until you see. I wrote a book because my wife was writing a book, and I was like, we can write books now? People can do that? Wait a minute. And we released our books on the same day years ago. That was so cool. We wrote a book together now that we're going to be promoting more, but it was because we see other people who are doing it. So I love that. I love that. Now let's talk a little bit, Andromeda, about, you're talking about women coming together, sharpening each other. Your network is your net worth. You're the average of the people you spend the most time with. How do you, though, come together and not feel this sense of competition or putting each other down? Women have a reputation for not being able to come together and have success because they're not really cheering for each other. They're kind of waiting for the next one to fail. Or people think, well, since they wrote a book, I don't want to write a book because I don't want to look like them. I look like I stole their idea. And then it actually stifles their growth. How do you bring women together, and how do you get them to truly support each other?
I think that leading by example is definitely one of the keys to that. In any organization, corporation, what have you, the culture of the organization is based on the leadership. Right. It comes from the top down. And so if the leadership is toxic, if the leadership has, negative thoughts, values, actions, behaviors, then that's going to trickle down to other people. I think that She Wins Society has been so successful at attracting the kind of women that we aim for because I literally put that kind of energy out there. Yes. We have been blessed. Not to say we haven't had a couple of doozies along the way who weren't really with the program. Right. But those people usually just filter themselves out because they realize we're not moving in that direction. But ultimately, again, it just comes from the energy. It comes from, when you do notice that things are not in alignment with the culture you're creating, then you move it or you adjust it or you correct it. But for the most part, She Wins Society has been blessed to attract amazing women who have the heart to serve, have the heart to support other women, have the heart to cheer other women on, and don't look at each other as competition. We are so diverse in what we do. We all have different things going on. So, there is no competition. And then again, remembering this, I think a lot of people feel envious and competitive in areas where they feel like they can't fit or where they have no opportunity. In She Wins Society, there's always opportunity. And like I said, when your sisters are creating things and then you get to sit on her platform, what are you jealous about? We're going to rise together. I love it. There's no reason to be jealous. We're going to do this together. And so that's the atmosphere we've created. If my sister's winning, I'm winning.
I love it. That is incredible. I love that you said that too, that it is your job to set the tone. if you allow people to be pushed down, marginalized, even inside your own organization, and you just say, "Oh, it'll work itself out," but you're conscious of that, you're thoughtful about that, and then it sounds like if you're going to be the person setting the tone, that takes a lot of self development and self checks and some growth that you need. And Andromeda, people who don't know, my wife is a part of the She Wins Society and has hosted some events here in Canton, Ohio, and we here where we live, North Canton now. But Andromeda stayed at our house. Thank you for being our guest. That was such a pleasure to have you here. Yes, and we all just hung out like regular people, right? We were just chilling, hanging out, having breakfast, hanging out. But you talked to us very openly and very honestly about the growth it took in you for this to be successful. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey? Like, who were you as a young woman? Were you someone who always had a bunch of female friends and knew this would be something? Or did you have some struggle with that? And how did you get to this woman empowerment, bringing women together person that you are today?
So yeah, the question, to answer your question, did I always have female friends? No, I did not. And I think that is what led me to create this space, because I struggled with that. I was not because I didn't want to have female friends or because I was a person who wasn't open to friendship. I just think that I've had some bad experiences that at some point in my life kind of caused me to isolate myself from women. So at one point I was like completely open to relationships and open to everybody, and we could hang out for a week and you're my friend, to realizing, no, you're not exactly who I thought you were, and you hurt my feelings, and then now I don't want to deal with anybody. So I had two extremes, which a lot of women experience. A lot of women experience being open, and a lot of women experience just being completely closed off to the idea. Yeah. What I had to realize along my journey, though, was that even though I had isolated myself at some point to avoid being hurt in female relationships, I still always had that desire and craving to have relationships with other women. And so there was a point in my life where I had to take accountability for the relationships I had, the interactions that I had. And so that was realizing that there was a part of me that was attracting these people to me. There was a part of me, as far as my insecurity, my my lack of self-esteem, the fact that I had been bullied as a child, all these different things that attracted me to people who weren't the nicest people. And so I had to do some self-work. We attract what we are. So a lot of times, if you are toxic, if you are broken, you are going to find yourself around toxic and broken people. Your conversations are going to be toxic and they're going to be broken. And so I realized, okay, I have a choice in this. I have a choice to improve myself. I have a choice to be the kind of friend that I want people to be to me. I have the choice to eradicate, the insecurities that I have that are keeping me from having healthy relationships with other people. I have a choice to forgive people for the apologies that they are never going to give me. Ooh. So that I can move forward and have fresh new eyes in the new relationships that I'm starting. And so, yeah, it definitely starts with your inner self in order to manifest and attract greater things in your life.
Incredible. Forgiving people for the apologies they never gave. What in the world are you talking about? That is mind blowing. I mean, it's so crazy that you said that. I thought about this recently, that we often look for the people who hurt us to be the same people who are going to heal us. And the reason they hurt us is because they don't have the capacity to be healers. That's not who they are. They may not be sorry for what they did. They may just be a sorry person. And they never going to say they're sorry, but you just have to recognize that. You have to know that. You have to be able to move forward in your life. And another thing I talk to my kids about, my wife and I always talk about, is hate hurts the person that holds it. Hate hurt. It's a bomb. I'm going to hold a bomb and think it's going to blow you up. If I hate you, I'm going to hold on to this bomb and it's going to blow up in my face. I'm the one carrying the hurt, the weight, the anxiety, the stress, the pressure. The fact that you could think about that and realize that and articulate that and be a leader of women to put that out there, I think is so powerful. I want to get to a few people. Natalie Lewis, thank you for being here. Christina Sanders, Charlene Clark, of course, my beautiful wife, Corinne Marie Tyndale. Welcome to the show. So glad to have you. Shamar Logan, who will be a guest on the show this week. Can't wait to have you, Shamar. Powerful woman. Amazing message. just can't wait. I just can't wait, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be so much fun. To Vivian King here on LinkedIn, I want to thank you for being here, Vivian. You and I are in touch. We're going to have you on the show here soon. I thank you so much for joining us. She said, good for you. Forgiveness helps the person who is forgiving for sure, right? Forgiveness helps the person who's doing the forgiving. It's not about the other person, if whether they want to take it or not. It's about us being willing to forgive. Ebony, Shahidra, thank you guys. So excited for you guys to be here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you just tuned in, please share this broadcast. We appreciate it. Curate great content. We're all sharing so much. We're going through a very difficult time right now, and all we're seeing is more negative and negative and negative news. And I understand, because I'm putting it out there too, because I'm mad and I'm angry and I'm hurt and I'm scared too. So I understand. But right now, there's somebody who needs to hear this message. There's a woman out there who is worried about her husband. She's worried about her son. She doesn't know what to do. She needs a group of sisters to surround her so that she can have the strength to hold up that man in her life, or those sons, or whoever they are that are worried and fearful that they're going to lose their lives at the hand of even law enforcement or in their communities. So now is the time. I don't know. Don't wait. Don't delay. Don't say, I'm going to look into it and think about it another time. I want some people to join today. If you're willing to join today and you're not a member of She Wins, I want you to put join today in the comments. Put join today if you're willing to join the She Wins Society today. There is some financial commitment that you have to make, but there's different levels, and it's certainly affordable for what you're going to get for this. I promise you. My wife has been a member for a long time, and it's not only helped change her life, it's changed my life. So there may be a husband or a boyfriend out there watching this. You tell your wife, say, I'll pay for it. Let's make it happen, because we need community. We were created for community. That's what we need. So somebody today, I want to thank you. Monique, you just did. Thank you so much for signing up for that. We really appreciate it. To others who are out there, I really appreciate it. I know. Listen, join when she first started. Shamar, I know it. Join when she first started. That's so exciting. Thank you so much. We know it. Ebony, I know you're a part of it. Sharice, you've joined. Thank you so much. Kimberly Nicole Johnson, thank you for being here. We appreciate you guys. Natalie Lewis, 5 years in the She Wins Society. Shout out to you for becoming a part of a sisterhood, for supporting another sister, for you ladies coming together and showing people that women do get along. I can't wait for us to have women running the country. I'm just going to say that. I'm sick and tired of the narrative that women would be emotional and have their finger on the button and they're going to blow up countries. I don't know if y'all notice what's going on in the White House right now, but it's some emotional nonsense going on right now. I think women are often the steady drivers that help build families and communities and more. Andromeda, can you talk to us a little bit about what you see as the impact of women on the world? Where do you see women's place at in the world? And what do you think this is really meant to be for women in society?
I think that women are everything to the world. None of us would be here right now if we did not come through.
Amen.
So
Amen.
Women are everything. We are the nurturers. We are the teachers. We are the lovers. We are the caregivers. We are so much to so many people. We are so much to our families and our communities. We must be held to a high standard. We must be uplifted and encouraged, because if not, the family falls. If not, our community falls. We have to give women the power, the voice, the opportunity in order to fulfill their purpose and to be who they were created to be. And we are strong. I don't see any men birthing any babies out here. Okay. Woo. So
we don't want no parts of it. Don't even let them fool you. We don't want no parts of that.
We are strong.
Yes.
We are strong physically, mentally, emotionally. I mean, you look at women. I see them all the time. These single mothers out here, these women who are figuring things out when their backs are up against the, in the corner.
Yes.
That's what I say. You're really going to find out who a woman, push her back into the corner. Do not think she's going to fall down and stay down. We rise up time and time and time again. And most times we are there to uplift our men. Much like you said, your wife is a huge factor in your life.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you say to her, I don't know where I would be without you. My husband says the same thing to me all the time. I don't know who I would be if I did not have you. We are, if you want to know who a man is, look at the woman standing next to him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's very, very important that, like I said, we give women the platforms and the voices and the positions in order to do what we do best. And we make things work. We make a way out of no way.
Yes.
Women are everything. Women, like Beyonce said, who run the world?
That's right.
Like, it's us. And I don't try not to be, like this with men, but honestly, like, again, it's us. Like, y'all, men are very important. They play a huge part in society and family as well. But women, like you can't. You're not gonna do anything successfully without a woman in the midst.
I I agree. I am a man, ladies and gentlemen. I hereby, as a man, agreed that what she said is true. I absolutely believe it. I talk to you guys all the time about my mom. This show has been dedicated to my mom, who passed away a few months ago. My mom was strong. My mom was smart. My mom taught us, when I was young, my mom taught us to speak the King's English. And I mean, we talk slang. And if you notice, when I speak proper and I speak slang. I got this little mix going on, but my mom would correct us all the time. She was the educator of our home. She was the heart and the soul of our home. She held it together. She held it down, and she held a belt if she had to. And she was strong enough to whoop us and strong enough to heal us after that whooping and say, it hurts me more than it hurts you. And I was like, what does that mean? That is very terrible for you to say. And then I became a parent. I realized what she meant was, I'm only doing this to correct you. I'm going to whoop you in my home so that they don't whoop you in the street because I love you. That's what mothers do. That's what women do. They're life changers. My wife, this show wouldn't be possible without my wife. If I didn't have my wife telling me, babe, keep going. When I first pushed go live 2 months ago, and I looked like I was about to take hostages. I was playing wall behind me. It was rough. And my wife was like, babe, keep going. It's powerful. It matters. It means something. I think it's so important for us to know that and for us to constantly recognize that. So for you as a wife, what is it like for you even in this time to encourage your husband, to be there for your husband? What does that look like when we talk about men being leaders and all of that? But you're such a dynamic woman. You have so much going on. How do you encourage your husband and how do you make the things flow together well with all the success that you're having?
Because you know what, when I started She Wins Society, that was with my husband's blessing. It's always been a team effort for us. So it was a conversation we had that, babe, I really want to quit my accounting job. I don't see myself doing this for the rest of my life. I want to pursue my purpose. I want to start this blog because it all started with the blog.
Wow.
And we sat down and we punched those numbers and he said, okay, babe, I can handle the household bills and the expenses while you build your business. We're going to have to sacrifice this and that. Can't get your hair done every 2 weeks. Got to cut back on that $400 weed.
All right.
All that stuff. But
we'll work it out.
It work. Yeah,
yes.
If that's what you want to do. So, I mean, I remember while building, there have been times that he has had to make runs to the post office to ship books for me and all kinds of things. And so now he's getting ready. Well, he's already started his mobile mechanic business. And so we are both entrepreneurs in that right.
Wow.
And so I encourage him with all that I've learned in entrepreneurship. Now I can share that information with him. Now I can help him in the areas of business where he is struggling or doesn't necessarily know, the ins and outs of how to get the administrative side done. Like he knows how to work on the car. But
yes.
If you want to talk about send emails out to customers, he's not too interested in trying to figure that out.
Right.
But we've always run our household as a team. So if I'm winning, he's winning. If he's winning, I'm winning. I encourage him in everything. I mean, honestly, he still works a full-time job as well as done his mobile mechanic business. But I was like, quit your job. We've always been for each other. I want him to be happy. He wants me to be happy. And so, yeah, I encourage him in everything he does. He encourages me in everything I do. We don't put limits on one another. Whatever our dreams are, we help one another to achieve those dreams.
I love it. I think it is a model that's not seen often. I think people, they don't know that there are strong, successful couples. There's strong, successful black families like yours where you're both entrepreneurs. You both have dreams. You both work regular jobs. You've done it all. You've gone through the ups and downs of life and still do it and ride it out together. But you love and support each other, and you're always willing to do that. I think it's something to be said about it because a lot of times people think that if the woman is too successful, it scares a man off. Okay, and this is a discussion that I've been having, and we're going to have a whole Lucas Live on this. What are your thoughts on that? On men's ability to deal with a successful woman. I'm sure you even have some of the sisters in your group who may come to you and they're starting to take off in their entrepreneurial endeavors or their business. And maybe they're starting to say, well, my husband's starting to act funny. He don't want me to come to this, that, or the other because, he says I'm changed and I'm not as focused on the house or whatever it may be. What are your thoughts on that? And how do you help women find balance and be able to continue to be the wives and the mothers while they chase their dreams?
So to answer your first question, I definitely think it depends on the man. I mean, my husband is my biggest fan. Like, he's rooting me on when nobody's rooting me on. You know what I
Right?
mean? Like, he's pushed me to keep going in times where I felt like giving up. He's watched me be on magazine covers and be acknowledged in all these different ways and win awards and travel the world. And I've even had women say, like, your husband let you go all those places? And I was like, what do you mean? Does he let me go all those places? I don't even know what that
What does that
means, you
look
know?
like?
That's not the relationship that we have. I think it's important in any relationship to communicate. You know what I mean? I think that um, a man who doesn't want to see his woman rise and shine, he has his own insecurities, and that's something that he needs to work on. I think as a teammate, as a partner, you want your partner to also feel good about what he's doing. So maybe if you found your niche, you found your calling, you're rising, have the conversation and see if you can help him find what he should be doing as well. That's going to make him feel just as fulfilled in his life. But we were not born. I remember my dad told me on my wedding day that, you two are married now, but you are still individual people with individual dreams. So
Yes.
you both need to continue doing what it is that you love, just as long as it's not disrespecting your partner. And we ran with that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
we are still going to be ourselves because we both have purpose. God created us separately. I think he created us for one another to help us reach our dreams, but he created us both with individual purposes. um as far as advice for women, is that what you asked
Yeah,
me,
like
like a lesson?
advice. Yeah, when they're having a level of success and maybe their husband is struggling with it, how do you help them to keep chasing their dreams? What do you tell them?
um so I definitely have the attitude of, be who you are, do what you were called to do.
Yeah.
Marriage is a very sacred thing. I think that though there are times when people get into marriages and they weren't divine, they were not meant to be. Um, but I think it's important in recognizing that,
Yes.
some people are not your soulmate. Some people are not created to help you to fulfill your purpose in life. So that's
Yes.
an important thing to recognize. And then again, some people have their own things going on, their own insecurities. One thing I would just always say is communicate. Be very clear about what your needs, wants, desires are with your mate, and then be sure that they're being clear with you about what they need. There's always compromise that can be met. So, for example, my husband struggled for the first couple of years with me not like cooking dinner, and maybe the laundry wasn't done, whenever he thought it would be done.
Uh-huh.
And I had to explain to him, like, well, yeah, I work from home, but I'm not a housewife.
Right.
So that's the
There's a
conversation we
diff.
had to
That
have.
sounds
Be
like a
clear.
book title right there. I work from home, but I'm
Right?
not a
It does.
housewife. Love it.
It does. But yeah, I'm home every day, but I'm not like just sitting here watching the reel. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm working. And so that was a conversation we had to have for him to understand. And then also I had to say, because at some point, I'm making money. So now I am contributing to household bills and stuff. And so I said to him, like, well, where do you think that money came from? It came from me actually doing work. So
Right.
you have to understand the laundry is lacking or dinner didn't get made tonight because I actually was making money for our household. Um,
Right.
so that's one thing. But then also, again, as a wife, I try to be considerate. I
Mm.
work every day to be considerate of what my husband's needs are. I can't
That's
be
awesome.
selfish. We are in this together. The same as he sacrificed for me to chase my dream and us be a one income household, and I put that entire burden onto him, is the same way that I have to take a step back and say, you know what? I need to schedule my things around his schedule. So my husband is off Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And even though he uses those days to work on his business, I still make myself available on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If he's going to be home and he's going to be off work, I am there and I will cuddle with him and we will watch movies or whatever. Everything else that I do, I handle for the week. So again, we compromise. I make a way to satisfy my husband and to ensure that he knows that I appreciate him.
Woo! Amen. 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 Somebody say amen in the comments. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think it's so important that we talk about the balance. I think it's important that we talk about these things. We often talk about like relationship success and career success is two separate things. There's always the question. Women are always questioned about whether they can have it all, right? Nobody ever questions a man as to whether he can have a relationship and a family and a career. It's like, of course he can. And even more so that's been blowing my mind recently is with so many people working from home and you get on Zoom calls with people and you're talking to people. Well, the women, when you're on Zoom calls with women, the kids are coming up to them and they got to feed the baby and they're trying to smile and tell the kids to go away. But when you're on a Zoom call with a man, the kids ain't nowhere to be found, right? It's like the kids are just never home. They're never there when the men are around. women are always challenged because they're expected to carry so much weight, but not often given credit. But then they're treated like the weaker vessel, right? Like they're just so weak. It's like, how do we put all the weight on women and then call them weak? Like, how does that work? I don't understand it. So I love it. I love the love you have for your husband. I love the commitment you have for your husband. And clearly the commitment he has for you, that you guys are going to win together. So one of the things you talked about was traveling the world. You said the women of Shiwen society are well-traveled women. I love that. They've been well-traveled. My wife has traveled well and gone some places with you guys too, without me, and I'm cool with that. And I think this year maybe she was planning on doing more, and here we are in a pandemic. But I love it. She always comes back refreshed and rejuvenated and had good time. Matter of fact, she came to Orlando with you guys with a mask on because it was right as the pandemic was hitting. And she was like, I'm going. You think I should go? I was like, I don't know. I don't know, babe. Just don't come back with the Rona because I'm going to have to lock you out, sweetie. I don't want to lock you out. But tell us a little bit about what people can expect in She Wins. What are some of the places you've gone? What are some of the things you guys have done? If somebody joins and wants to get deeper in, what are some of the things they can expect?
Okay, so our seasonal retreats are always somewhere different. We started out in Blue Ridge Mountains, Georgia. We have been to the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania. We went to Miami, Florida, Miami Beach, Florida. We did Orlando this year. I'm trying to think where else I'm missing, but we definitely go different places. Our goal, we were supposed to go to Puerto Rico, Rio Grande, Puerto Rico, in May, but that didn't work out due to the pandemic. Right. And then we are supposed to go to Charleston, South Carolina in October. But currently we have paused all in-person events just because we don't know what is going to happen.
Yes.
But yeah, our goal is for our retreats is always to go somewhere that's a little bit more, isolated, where we can spend time together in the house, not so much being busy. We do have a day where we go out into the city just to kind of tour a little bit, but the rest of the days are spent in the house with our mastermind sessions, with our mindfulness sessions, with sisterhood bonding, just time to unplug, relax, rejuvenate, connect. And then our cruise that we have done for 5 years. This year was supposed to be year 6. We've always sailed to the Bahamas. We attempted Cuba last year before Trump canceled Cuba. But
shut it down.
We do a cruise every single year, usually out of Florida, Miami, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale area. And we started out with 3-day cruises. We've now increased them to 4 because that is what the demand is asking for. We need more days on the ship. We need more retreating.
More days away from them kids. More days away from them responsibilities. Right.
Right. So that retreat is the biggest retreat of the year. The seasonal retreats are member-only retreats. They're smaller in size to allow for the intimacy for women to connect within our group and to get to know their sisters better. Our Relax, Relate, Release retreat every summer is open to every woman that wants to join us. Last year, we had 70 plus women join us. That was our biggest year yet. And we have a conference that goes on. We have motivational sessions. We have just an array of, exciting opportunities for you to connect with other women and just have a really good time. And so I can tell you the date for next year is August 16th through the 20th, 2021. Reservations will open soon at shewinsociety.com.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, when we get off this broadcast, you got to go to shewinsociety.com. Somebody type it in the comments wherever you're at. If you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Periscope, I've seen you guys everywhere, YouTube. Type shewinsociety.com. It's on the screen here. But type it in those comments. Somebody else is going to be able to click on that as a link later, and it's going to take them where they need to go. Make sure you spell it right. It's on the screen, shewinsociety.com, so we can make sure we get people over there. Check it out. Sign up there's an email list, right, in the newsletter. Tell us a little bit about that. If at the most basic level, how could somebody be a part and stay connected? I think I saw that there as well.
Yeah, you can definitely sign up for our email list at shewinsociety.com. Subscribe to the email list. It's totally free to do so. You will have the opportunity to receive access to some things like our Her Winning Secrets masterclass. It's an online masterclass we host every other Wednesday, where we have amazing, successful women who are really truly winning in their industries and their careers. And we spend 45 minutes to an hour with them, asking them questions about what their secrets are. We see these women who are shining bright on social media. They are succeeding. Every time we turn around, they're sharing something new that they have accomplished. And so we have accessed these women to get get into the behind the scenes of what's going on and how are you making these things actually happen. One of our next guests is coming up in July is the Budgetnista. I know everybody knows who the Budgetnista is.
The
You should know
Budgetnista.
who the Budgetnista is.
All
If you
right.
don't, you need to find
You better
out.
Google her.
She is going to be on in July. So definitely, if you sign up for our email list, you will have an opportunity to be a part of those classes. We provide a limited number of email subscribers to join us every Wednesday. Also, some things that aren't a part of membership that you could take part of, without being a member, is that I offer personal development coaching for women. So I help women to overcome those mental, emotional barriers that are keeping them from success. I help you to do that inner work that you need to do so that you can flourish and grow and really become your best self and achieve your dreams. I also offer coaching for creatives. And so I know all of us have a purpose. All of us have a gift that God has placed inside of us, whether it is art, whether it is writing, whether it is blogging, whatever it is, whether it's starting a podcast, whether it's doing a Lucas Live.
Hey, hey.
I've created coaching to help you birth, bring your visions to life, to move past, the confusion of, well, what do I do next? How do I start? I help you with marketing and branding and all the things that are necessary in order to get you going. And I hold you accountable for the things that we set in place for you, because ultimately, some people aren't self-starters. They need that push ever so often to say, keep going. And so I provide you with that as well. And so my goal is to help women to become their best selves, and also to help women to fulfill their purposes, to be who God created them to be.
Excellent, excellent, excellent stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to connect, okay? You got to get involved. Again, you got to let somebody else know. You need to reach, if you're already a member, wouldn't it be cool if you invited somebody else during this crazy time, during this pandemic, and you actually invited somebody out there wants to pay for somebody else. Somebody do that. It's on your heart. You want to give right now. There's a lot of things you're like, how can I be involved in change? How can I be involved in helping with all the madness going on in the world? Well, there's some woman out there who just needs some sisters and needs to be a part of something. And if you just pay that bill, do that thing for her, that's not really going to feed what she needs. You have to get her around people who are going to sharpen her up so that she's not worried about bills anymore, to where she finds new streams of income and finds new gifts that she has that she didn't know she has, that she gets the coaching, that she gets into the master classes, that she does something different. Whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're on any platform out here, I challenge you right now to say, I want to help somebody win. I want to help a woman win today, and I'm going to help her by sponsoring her to become a part of the She Wins Society. I challenge somebody out there to do that. That's radical. That's different. That's change. That's different than I understand protests and marches and all this going on right now, and I get it. But some people are kicking down doors and burning places up. That's tearing things down. What are we doing to build up our communities? Well, this is something that is in place that can build up communities. We don't know who's coming out of the She Wins Society. We're going to have a president. I'm going to say one day we're going to have a president that came out of the She Wins Society. A female president is going to run this country, and she could be a part of this, and this could be the spark that she needs to be inspired to make that change. So please, right now, while you're thinking about it, make sure you think about somebody you know who's in need, who could use these services, and you want to get them in. So Andromeda, another thing I want to talk about today is the struggle. Okay, we all had struggles. All right, you're sharing a story, and you shared a little bit about some of your things when you were younger, and that you didn't always get along with women. Even being someone who built this, and you and I have talked about it. Success is not easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. Somebody needs to hear that. Somebody's looking at you thinking, I want to be where she is, as though you woke up here. Can you tell us a little bit about the grind and some of the struggles maybe that there were along the way as you built this organization?
Absolutely. That is the message I think that I definitely enjoy sharing. Unlike other people, I like to share my testimonies.
Right.
I like to share the behind the scenes, because I was once that person who looked at other people and was like, I want that, and didn't understand the struggle that had to come with it. I think I was even a little entitled, and God had to humble me.
Interesting.
Let me know you're going to have to do some work. It's not coming just because you're cute. Or
right.
Because,
sorry.
You know what I mean? Like, you're here. No, you
right.
have to do some work. You have to earn your stripes.
Yeah.
And nobody who got to success, we see the greats, Oprah, Steve Harvey, these people, they all share that they went through, the struggle. They had to pull it out the mud.
Yes.
And so for me, I would say that one of the biggest moments of my life, one of the ones that really let me know I was in my purpose and that I was going to eventually get to where I wanted to go was when my husband lost his job. So I shared with you guys earlier on that we made the decision that I was going to quit my full-time accounting job. I had finally got to the salary that I was aiming for. And then I said, I have to pivot. I have to change. We were very comfortably financially till we went to a place of, okay, it's just his one income, but it can work and we can still live comfortably. We just got to make some sacrifices. Well, when he lost his job, we went from two income to one income to no income. We had just moved from Tallahassee, Florida to Orlando. And when he moved for a job, but it wasn't one of those jobs where they pay for your relocation expenses. So we really used up like most, if not all of our savings to relocate. And so when he lost his job, we didn't have anything. Now, I have been out of the house since I was 18 years old. I have been very independent and on my own. I've worked 2 jobs when I needed to in order to have that off-campus apartment, like whatever I wanted to get, I made it happen for myself.
Right.
But this was a humbling moment for me. I had no other choice but to ask for help. This wasn't a moment where my pride could carry me. We literally were in a space where we were no longer able to afford where we were living, or really anywhere on our own because he wasn't working. And so I had to reach out to a cousin who lived in Orlando, and I had to move in with her. Now, anybody who knows, has experienced that before, it's a big transition going from living on your own to moving into someone's house. And, she's, I love my cousin Gloria, but she's older.
Shout out to Gloria.
She's raised by very strong women who are very strict in how they do things. And so there's rules to be in her house. You know what I mean? And so we had our room, and she didn't have Wi-Fi in her house, which was a new thing for me. While I was building my business on my phone, I never didn't have any Wi-Fi. And so while going through the transition of basically putting all of our stuff in storage, taking movie clips to our house, waking up every day in this room as opposed to my own place, now I have to figure out how I'm going to get my work done because I don't have Wi-Fi here. And I'm already when you're down, you don't really even feel like going anywhere. Like, could I just wake up in this bed and like try to tap some stuff on this phone here? No, I had to get up. I had to move. And so, not to mention, I went from an iPhone to Cricket Wireless. I had to downgrade so many things. My phone.
Shout out to Cricket Wireless. Shout out to Cricket. Cricket. That's what you get when you call people as crickets. They're like, I can't hear you. I can't. No. So you had to downgrade, but you made it work.
I had to downgrade. So but the phone I have, so like this is like an old iPhone, but like iPhones are magical. You can create anything. I make all my content for social media on my phone.
Wow.
So now I don't have a phone where I can do that, and I don't have Wi-Fi. So I have to take my laptop and my tablet to Starbucks every day. I will be at Starbucks from almost the time they open to almost the time they close every single day, trying to build my business. I didn't have any income. Like nothing was coming in yet. I literally had to be working with the belief that what I was working on was going to create something, was going to benefit me in some way. I had no earthly idea that it was. And at times I did think about going to go back and grab an accounting job real quick so we could make it through. But I went to a couple interviews. One of them I was late to. The other one, I just know I wasn't really giving it because I don't want to be here. Like, me and my husband just had the conversation. I said I was fighting for my freedom. That is ultimately what I was doing. I didn't want to go back to a job. So it took me to be at Starbucks every day. And the first breakthrough I had was when I created this course called 30 Days to Becoming an Empowered Woman. Ultimately, through that course, I was sharing the steps I take, the thoughts that I put into myself every day to keep myself going through this course. And again, creating 30 days worth of content for an online course that I had no idea whether anybody would purchase. But the first day that I launched it, I all of a sudden started seeing PayPal notifications come up on my phone. I had made $800 in less than an hour. And that's when I knew God is still with me. I am walking in my purpose, and I am going to get through this. And nothing after that, there was really no other experience that could shake me. Because everything I lost in that season, I got returned to me plus some more. So yeah, you have to earn you have to earn your stripes.
I can't scream because that would mess up people's ears, but I want to scream, Andromeda. I've been on, you and I have talked about this. I've only had 3 jobs in my life. One I had for 16 years. I had it from the time I was 16 till I was 32 or something. Loved it, working with kids and families. and I was fired from that job suddenly with no notice. It's like nothing. One meeting went in and it was some nonsense. I don't even know what I think it was. I think I wrote a book. I started a business, not a competing business, and the owners didn't like it, and they let me go. And I was too hurt to fight. People were like, go to court, fight. I was like, I can't even argue. I don't even know what to do with myself. I didn't want to get out of bed. I was so broken. And that took some time. It really took years, to be honest, to get over that pain. After that, got a wonderful job, though. Eventually did a lot of entrepreneurial stuff, but then got a job at a consulting company, traveled with them, learned a lot of stuff that I needed to know, got recruited to a new company, be a corporate trainer, loved it, was making a huge impact. And then I was laid off from that job this past October. Again, devastated. Like, what is life? What is going on? I'm the provider. My wife has been doing her thing and been entrepreneurial for 7 years. I don't know, 6, 7 years now. So I'm like, I can't have her go back to work. I got to figure this out. And I just know I'm supposed to be an entrepreneur. I'm supposed to do this thing. And I've been doing some stuff. And then the economy changed a few months ago. And then I hit go live. I just keep saying that. I just hit go live. And here I am after losing my mom. And I'm only saying this because I know what you just said inspired a lot of people, because it really inspired me. And you and I have had these every time we talk, it's like you say something like this, it's like crazy because you're not afraid to talk about the struggle. So you've told me and my wife about your husband, being laid off from his job and you guys moving. And it was so inspiring then. And it's even more inspiring right now because I'm finding my way right now. Right now, I'm in that space where it's like I'm grinding. I'm just figuring it. People are like, your show looks so good. I'm like, you don't know the hours that go into trying to make a 1-hour show look good. It takes a lot. So to the person out there who's worried, who's down, who's discouraged, they may be furloughed, they may be laid off, they may not know if they're going back to their job. What would you tell them as far as how do they find hope in this difficult season? Because you've clearly been there.
I would say, and this is one thing that I tell all of my coaching clients, anybody who ever listens to me speak, I have always said, you have one job every day that you wake up, and that is to do the best you can with what you have. God is always going to reward your efforts. Always. A lot of times we think, oh, I have this plan set and it's going to work out like that. Listen, you're driving the car, but God designed the road. If you don't put that car in ignition, though, you're not going to go anywhere. You got to turn the ignition on. You got to put the foot on the pedal. And then you have to allow God to lead you, to guide you. When a roadblock comes up, guess what? That means he's telling you to go right or go left or go another way. But you got to keep your foot on the pedal. God is always going to reward your efforts. If you learn to be grateful for what you have and you say, this is all I have today, but I am going to do the very best I can with that, you will be surprised of what you will manifest, what unexpected blessings will show up for you. You can't worry about tomorrow. All you know for certain is right now. Do your best with what you have in this moment, because it's what you do today that is going to manifest your tomorrow.
Wow. I can't thank you enough. The audience that's in, that's a word. Won't he do it? Yes, God. So amazing. They are celebrating what you're saying. And I'm telling you, I'm not playing, ladies and gentlemen. Like when I said what she said impacted me, I'm not just saying that because that sounds good on the show. Like, oh, that's amazing. No, like literally emotionally hit me. And I know it hit my wife. I already can tell the conversation me and her are going to have tonight, and how that helped shift. I believe what you said was to shift us, was to let us know we're doing the right things, to let us know to keep pushing, to keep going, to not be fearful, to just do it every day. And like you said, you have one job every day. I love that. Go out there and be your best, do your best, give your best, give your all to becoming what you say you want to be. And one day you'll become what you said you wanted to be. I love it. I love it. I love it. We have a few minutes left. Again, I want you to, if you could restate for those who are watching and here caught on at the end, some of the benefits to joining the She Wins Society. And again, where can they find out more information?
Awesome, of course. The benefits of joining She Wins Society is having the opportunity to be in spaces with other like-minded women, women who have positive mindsets, women who are striving to become their best selves, women who are doing amazing things that will inspire you to do the amazing things that you were created to do. That is the top benefit of being a member of She Wins Society. There is nothing like community. We were not created to do this alone. One
Yes.
thing I shared recently on a live that I did was that, a lot of people, they're jaded because of past interactions, and so they don't want to create new connections with other women and things like that. But you can't win by yourself.
Mm.
I mean, you just can't. You can create something alone, but guess what? If you don't have a support system, if you don't have people who care about what you do, who's buying what you're doing?
Right.
You have to have people. So when Shamar gets on here, I'm sure she will share with you, but like, she commented, she shares all the time that she knows that her book, her very first book, The 7-Day Slave, became a Amazon best new release because of the members of She Went Society,
Wow.
her sisters, because of the relationships that she built long before she decided to write a book, long before she decided to be an entrepreneur. And
Mm.
so this is what this community is for. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't ever have to become one. There are spaces for you to, again, just to become your best self, to find focus, to focus on becoming your best self, because we have so many different distractions. So
Yes.
within She Wins Society, all of the conversation, all of the activities, all of the events are about you becoming your best self, about you focusing on your self-care without apology. We want you to focus on you. We don't want you to focus on us. We want you to become your best self, because the better you are, the better sister you're going to be to us. If
Yes.
you're winning, if you're shining, if you're thriving in life, you're going to be able to reach back and pull up us to do the same. So we want you to become your best self. Outside of that, the other benefits are having access to our virtual events, our virtual activities like our game night, our winning workouts with Ashley D, our book club meetings. Also having the opportunity to speak on our platforms. I just started a new thing, actually, Lucas, that I forgot to mention, called
Okay.
Pass the Mic Sis.
All
And
right.
this is an Instagram live series that we're going to do every Saturday at 12 p.m. noon. And so that provides you opportunity. This is for women from all walks of life. If you wanted to speak, if you have a voice, if you have a message that you want to share, I created Past Mike Sis for all women who want to have a conversation about things that are impacting our world today, to join me and have a conversation and use your voice, because that will provide you with other opportunities to speak on other people's platforms. I like to be that person who, how there's jobs out there and they're like, well, you can't be a manager until you get management experience. But it's
Right.
like, well, how do I get management experience if nobody allows me to be a manager?
Right.
And so I like to provide the opportunities for women to use my platform to get the experience they need to go forward and to succeed in their careers.
Wow.
And then the last thing I would say is just like Rising Star membership. Sharice, who is a member, she is a Rising Star. So she has access to monthly personal development coaching sessions with me, where you get to have one-on-one talk with me, and we can go through whatever you're experiencing, or talk about your challenges, and even help with, whatever business goals we have and things like that. So there's an array of opportunities available to you as a member of She Wins Society. And if you would like to join, you can go to shewinsociety.com, SHEWINSSOCIETY.com.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Andromeda. Powerful message today. So many people on here were excited that whether they joined before or they're joining. We look forward to that. And I look forward to a great week with the She Wins sisters, with other dynamic women who you personally chose to come on this week. I know you had a hard time because you have so many dynamic women and you were like, I don't know how to pick them. And so we said, well, maybe we'll do some days with two of them. And I know there's going to be even more. So I'm going to not only, now, we're going to do a She Wins week, but I'd love to do it again in the future, to even Dr. Shamika Dean, who many people know, who was on here, one of my early episodes, one of the most amazing episodes we've had so far, is a part of She Wins. I look forward to bringing on more women. I want to promote this. I'm a man who believes in sisterhood. I'm a man who believes in women supporting women. I'm a man who believes in men getting behind women and supporting women and helping them to move forward and move up. There was nobody like my mom in my life. So who am I not to be the biggest advocate for women in the world? I want to support. I want to promote. I'm a father of 3 daughters. I'm all for this. So I'm very excited about it. Ladies and gentlemen, our wonderful audience, thank you guys so much for all the love, for all the support. It has been a wonderful, wonderful time here. And Andromeda, we'll see you again this week. Is that right? You're going to co-host some with me?
I am, absolutely.
All
And I have to
right.
say thank you for this opportunity, Lucas. You're really just helping us in the point in which I said when you are part of She Wins Society, you get opportunities to do other things. So
True.
you pitched this idea to me. It wasn't even mine, but it just was like, yes, I can reach out and tell my sisters they can come on Lucas Live too.
Let's go.
It's the whole thing. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Such a pleasure, such an honor. You've impacted my life more than you know, and it's my pleasure now at this stage, and a year from now, when this stage is even bigger, we're going to do it again. And 2 years from now, when we're on national TV or something crazy, we're going to do it again. Okay, so you guys are a part of my life. I want to be a part of the She Wins Society in the background because you won't let me join for some reason. I don't know what it is. I'm a little bit offended, but it's all good. No, I totally get it, so I'm with it. And I'm excited to do more. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for another wonderful episode of Lucas Live. Thank you guys for your love and support and for always being here with us and joining us. To our replay viewers, thank you for watching us. To people who listen to this like a podcast, we're going to put it on a podcast platform soon. So you'll be able to literally listen to it like a podcast. But some of you listen to it on your Facebook like that or your YouTube like that. Some of you are out taking a jog, taking a walk, getting the kids ready for bed, whatever you're doing, and you're listening to this show. I can't thank you enough for your love and support. Thank you for your shares. Thank you for making this thing so special. Andromeda, you were amazing. Audience, you were amazing. Everybody,